There is never going to be a right time or a perfect condition for you to start choosing you, prioritizing you, remembering those dreams that you had, that you've parked and put aside in the name of love for your family, and that are whispering to you while you're living in a nightmare. I'm filming today and there's some gardening going on in my neighbours, and I thought, what a perfect moment. What a perfect moment. I may be able to AI remove the sound. I'm trusting that you can hear me over the background noise, because phones are clever these days, and it's not a perfect condition for filming. And this is what we do. So many of us, and myself included along the way in different contexts, is we get into waiting energy. It's quiet. We wait for permission, for the perfect time, for everything to be okay in order to get started. I need this and I need this and I need this, and there's all of these external conditions and parameters that have to be a certain way, and it's an excuse that we get to use in order to not take the actions that will inevitably lead to change in life. Now, when you look at it on a subconscious level, and the layer of thinking and belief systems, our mind and our body are designed for survival, to keep us safe in the same conditions. And so we have a lot of thoughts that come forward, stories that come forward as to why we shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. Don't change jobs. Don't leave or start a relationship. All of these reasons, because even though we're uncomfortable, and even though it might be a form of a nightmare, there's no harmony, there's no connection within the family. Maybe we feel like our children are getting further away from us, or maybe our children are in a state of stress and anxiety or suffering. Relationships are stretched thin. You feel isolated, alone, nobody understands, there's no support, all of these things, right? And all of these reasons to keep doing the same thing day in, day out, because at least you're managing. You don't know how much longer you're going to be able to keep it up for, but you're managing. And you're the one that needs to do it all. And if you don't do it, everything's going to fall apart. I'm speaking from experience here, as far as ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that I have had running my life before getting into this work, before realizing that if I want change, gotta stop waiting. And just as importantly, if I want to model to my kids, I have 2 boys, if I want to model to them a life of possibility, a life of self-importance, self-respect, self-confidence. That's what I want for them to embody for themselves, so they can move through their life confidently, knowing who they are, having value and respect for themselves. Then I've got to be that first. I can't fob that off on the next generation while I'm feeling so low in my own self-worth and in my own value. And that's the crux of it for so many of us. We don't know our worthiness internally, and so we seek validation and evidence for it externally, which means we work bloody hard in order to get love, in order to get approval, to gain from the outside world what's already inside of you. Now there's two. Do you know, secretly, I was hoping when that one went quiet, I thought, oh, you start and then the conditions sort themselves out. And that is true. Just not getting to model it through the gardening, but they have just started, to be fair. So, sincerely ask yourself in this moment, what have you been waiting for? What are you waiting to do for you? What do you know in your heart as an action that you've been scared to take? Because it's my knowing that we all have the answers that we're looking for inside of us. We know what it is to do. I hear this all the time in conversation. I don't know. And I'll always challenge it. I'll always call it out and say, yes, you do. And we sit in the discomfort of that. This is how we start to reclaim our life. This is how we start to come home to ourselves. Because we think that if we give up something, the more we can give up, the more we're demonstrating love. Excuse me. Sacrifice. The more I sacrifice, the more I can show you that I've given up. I see this as well. Because this is the thing about parking your own dreams. And this is the thing about giving to your family from a point of depletion and from a point of, emptiness. We're pouring from an empty cup, with that analogy. Is resentment builds. And then we feel, I've seen this. I've seen it in media. I've seen it in life, where a parent will feel like their child owes them something for providing a home and food and clothing. Because the resentment's built up over the years, because of how much of yourself you've given up. And it happens subtly, initially. It's the little micro decisions every day that build up your entire life. So it doesn't feel like anything to just put that thing down for a minute or put that thing down for a minute. And over the years, you've disappeared. And then there can be, when you get really honest, an underlying resentment. It might not be towards your child, maybe it's towards your partner, maybe it's towards your parent. There's some sort of, I'm not appreciated, I'm not understood, I'm not supported. Giving from empty, you still give from that place. And every time you do, you abandon yourself more and more and more. because you haven't learned to feel at home in your own nervous system. Been operating on stress for so long, it doesn't feel comfortable to be at home. And I've had this running around in my mind today. Like, life can change in an instant. Life can change in an instant, and that is absolutely true. 100% true, because where is life happening? Your life is not happening out there. Your life is not happening in your child, in your partner, in your job. Your life, the life force that is you, where's that happening? It happens in you, right? And so life can change in an instant. The moment you choose to come home to yourself and be fully present with yourself and choose consciously to love yourself, to put yourself first, to prioritize yourself as a gift to your children, to the next generation. Because frankly, the overgiving, the giving from empty, the not feeding ourselves, the not creating the space for ourselves. And I don't mean some big long retreat, and that's great, right? But 15 minutes where you keep choosing that uncircumstantially. And I understand what it's like to have children that have a lot of needs, to have a family life where you have to be ready to respond. Get that fully. I do. And that's even more of a reason to ring fence this time. When I have done this in my own family, my kids know now. Did they know initially? No, they did not. I also have a belief there's no such thing as interruptions, right? And being able to model to them, this time is for me. When I have this time, I come back even better. And then you come back better. Those are more of the micro things. But we get to think of the big things as well, right? Like, think of the macro. There was a time last year, or maybe 2 years ago, where things were very intense at home. And one of my children was very, very attached to me and didn't want to go to his dad's. And I had a birthday weekend booked. And there was a lot of upset expressed from my child in that moment. And I know an older version of me would have let the narrative of, but he needs me. He needs me. I can't leave him like this. What's it going to do for our relationship? How is he going to trust me? I'm his safe space. Like, all of this stuff, right? And I went. He was with his dad. We're separated. He went to his dad's. His dad came round for him. And I left and I did the thing. Do you know what happened the next time that I went away? I hadn't even committed to it yet. I had an opportunity come forward to attend something that I really wanted to attend. And I got an email invitation for it. And I said, oh, just got this invitation. My son, who had an absolute storm previously, was like, you should go to that. He was still in a very attached phase at that time. I had him for most of the week. Our arrangement is typically 50-50, and we're very responsive in our family to what our children need. It meant I was going to be away for 3 days, and he was like, go. You've got to go. You can't not go to that. So when we take the action without the conditions being perfect and stay certain that this is the correct action for me, once you've made the decision, it's the right decision. The ripple effect of that certainty, no guilt, no doubt. If the guilt and the doubt comes forward, we meet it, we thank it, and we let it go. And we know in every fibre of our being that us taking aligned action for ourselves, with ourselves as the primary directive, if you like, that is us loving our children. It's selfish to park your dreams. It's selfish to put yourself on the bottom of the pile. It's the easy and the known thing to do. All of the other things, they're scary initially. Do you think I didn't have discomfort in my nervous system as I stepped away that first time? Of course I did. And I held this certainty. I'm pointing to my mind, but actually it was in my heart. Hold on to the certainty. This is the right thing to do. This is it. No more waiting. Could have been like, I'll try again next year. No waiting, because the conditions, they're not going to be perfect, and that's kind of the point. Because it's easy to choose ourselves when there's a ton of space. It's easy to be this certain inflow, calm, easeful person when everything's all lined up. And when these moments of challenge arise, be that in the face of your child or any other thing that happens in life, a job loss, what you would consider a bump in the road, when you can stay certain and calm and committed to yourself in those moments, stay connected to your vision, your dreams for your life, and getting clearer and clearer on that, and take those aligned actions uncircumstantially. People might hear that and be like, but that's selfish, that's narcissistic, that's uncaring. Those are stories that will keep you from taking the action. And these actions, I hope you can hear in some of the stories that I've shared, these actions, as you build your own worth, your own confidence, and choose you. I spend a ton of time with my kids and I love it. I love every moment, every storm, every game. I love all of it. I get to love all of it because I've learned to love all of me, and I choose me. So I have it to give. I'm not giving from empty, I'm giving from overflow. So what's more selfish? Giving from a place of emptiness and resentment, or living a life aligned for you, trusting that when you're connected to your heart and taking the actions that maybe not everybody agrees with and maybe not everyone's comfortable with in the moment, those actions, because you're a loving being, you're incredible, you are built of compassion and kindness and generosity. So what on earth would make you think that you acting from alignment and living from that place would make you disconnected from the things that matter to you, that really matter to you? And your family being number one on that list, right? After yourself. So that feels like a good place to conclude for today. Thank you for being with me. Look, it's silent. Silence. The conditions met us. What are you waiting for? And what's a little action that you can take to go and do that thing? And if you'd like to gain more clarity on the dream or on the actions, then get in touch. My email is below and we can explore some one-on-one mentorship to build the life of your dreams now.